Kuzu Zampo, and a very good evening to all our viewers. This is BBS Channel 2, and I'm your host for the next hour, Karma Dendrup. This is your weekly dose of Buddhism, the Jangchub Shing. Every week, we, the BBS Channel 2, bring to the audience venerable Buddhist masters and teachers live, but this program is a recorded one, and I would like to remind our viewers to refrain from calling in. What we hope to do with this show is to at least clear doubts, should you have any, and to offer our understanding of Buddhism so that we better understand the vast and profound Dharma taught by the Buddha. With that tonight, with me in the studio, our guest who would need no introduction in the West, but for us in Bhutan who are not familiar, let me briefly introduce our guest. His Eminence Dzongchen Ponlop Rinpoche is a leading Buddhist master in North America and an advocate of American and Western Buddhism. A lover of music, art, and urban culture, Rinpoche is a poet, an avid photographer, an accomplished calligrapher, and a visual artist. He is the founder and president of Nalanda Bodhi, an international network of Buddhist study and meditation centers, and of Nithartha International, a non-profit education corporation dedicated to preserving the contemplative literature of East Asia. Rinpoche was born in 1965 and was formally recognized by His Holiness the 16th Gelwa Karmapa and His Holiness the Dalai Lama as the 7th Dzogchen Ponlop Rinpoche, and formally enthroned in 1968 in Rumtek, where he was born too. I could fill this whole program with Rinpoche's biography, but I would refrain from that. And with that, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yes. Without wasting any more of our time, my first question to Rinpoche, like the signature tune of my program says, who is the Buddha?
That's a very good question.
Yes.
The Buddha, for me, is a great human being, a great human master who has achieved the highest wisdom and highest compassion that the human mind can achieve. And so Shakyamuni Buddha is our ultimate refuge and master.
Yes.
And he's like our idol,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
He's the idol that we follow.
Or he's just an ordinary human being?
I mean, he was an ordinary human being.
Yes.
And then he became a completely enlightened Buddha. And so he's exceptional, a human master.
Yes.
Which doesn't mean that, that Buddha doesn't have the omniscience or things like that. Definitely he does. And what Buddha taught is that we should follow him as an example, as a teacher, not worship him as a god,
Yes.
right, or supernatural being.
Yes. Yes. Rinpoche, what was his first teaching, or rather, what was the first Dharma that he preached?
First Dharma that Buddha taught was, of course, the Four Noble Truths.
Yes.
That he taught in the Deer Park in Sarnath. And the environment is really interesting because after attaining enlightenment, he walked to Sarnath in Deer Park, as you know.
Yes.
And then his 5 other ascetic practitioners, friends,
Yes.
Coming to actually mock him, right, making fun of him,
Yes.
because he left the ascetic path.
Yes.
So for them, that Siddhartha failed,
Yes.
the path of asceticism.
Yes.
And so they came to actually mock him and make fun of him and to check out. And then when they came to the sight of the Buddha, they naturally kind of melted down
Yes.
all their doubts
Yes.
and became his students. And then that's where he taught the Four Noble Truths.
Yes. And in the same line, the Buddha, the Kanjur and the Tenjur, if I'm not wrong, there's like 84,000 volumes of that. Is that true? Because I have a question
we say 84,000 Dharma.
Yes.
So it's more like 84,000 different topics.
Yes.
Yes.
So for a lay person, the 84,000, first of all, they won't have the time, or I don't know even if they had the inclination, so many people won't have the time. So if Rinpoche could share with us like a concise, like a gist, like a formula, if one could call it that, a brief version, like the essence of the 84, if Rinpoche could share something on that.
84,000 is actually like not really like 84,000 different texts
Yes.
or different chapters or anything like that. But it's more of 84,000 different ways of working with our mind.
Yes.
Especially nyamon.
Yes.
In Sanskrit we call this klesha.
Yes.
In our language, nyamon,
Yes.
or disturbing emotions.
Yes.
And so each of these dharma, 84,000 dharmas are like the remedy,
Yes.
right, for each one of these,
Yes.
like anger, right, attachment,
Yes.
ignorance,
Yes.
Jealousy, pride, and things like that.
Rinpoche, in the beginning when I asked Rinpoche who the Buddha was, Rinpoche did start off by saying that he was an ordinary man and he went on to become the best, that a human being can aspire to become. So in that light, is it possible for a person like me, or for all of us, to attain enlightenment?
Oh yes, yes. That's what the Buddha said.
Yes.
Buddha taught that we all have the chance, we all have the opportunity to become enlightened, just like he achieved.
How do we go about that? If Rinpoche could share something on that, yes.
Well, I always say this, the Siddhartha's journey to awakening, Siddhartha's journey to enlightenment was not really inspired by great faith from the beginning, of course. So, like maybe many people lack faith in the beginning. There's no problem. Siddhartha's journey did not start like that. Siddhartha's journey began with question, right? Not with answers.
Yes.
Begin with questions. Like, for example, I think we always teach this. When Siddhartha went on, exploring the world outside his palace, right? And he saw these 4 different things, right? Old age, sickness, death, and a sannyasi meditating. So when he saw each one of these, he kept asking his, driver, a friend, what's happening? What is this? Right? Very inquisitive. So that kind of inquisitiveness led him to the path and the result of awakening and enlightenment. So that's how I think we need to follow.
To question our existence,
we have to be inquisitive,
Yes.
and we have to really explore our mind,
Yes.
right? Explore our mind, and we have to explore our world, our reality. We never question right now,
Yes.
We never question about the existence of the table.
Yes.
We just take it blindly, that, there's the table here.
Yes.
So this is the greatest blind faith,
Yes.
right? This samsaric belief.
Yes. Yes. Rinpoche was sharing something about seeing is believing yesterday.
Yes.
And if Rinpoche could share something about that, about Rinpoche said that as according to the Buddha, that is not so. For our viewers who are not there in RIM, if Rinpoche could share something.
Well, like we have this blind faith, as I was talking earlier, that we don't question whether the table is truly existent or not. We believe it is existent because we see it, right?
Yes.
We see it's there. But from Buddha's teaching point of view, seeing is not really believing, because the Buddha said that our sense faculties, they are not really able to see the reality. It's not, it's confused, sense faculties.
Yes.
And there's one 20th century Buddhist teacher who made this funny statement.
Yes.
He said, okay, if we have these 2 eyes, not in horizontal way, but vertical, vertical way.
Yes.
And he said, we can be pretty sure that we'll see the world differently, not the way we see it now.
Yes. Would Rinpoche like to share that story, which I found very nice yesterday? One female Buddhist friend of
Yes.
yours,
Um,
if Rinpoche
yes,
feels it's appropriate, or
yes, definitely. Like in the Buddhist teaching, we always search for happiness.
yes,
Right? We're always searching for happiness, but at the same time, we are engaged in the causes that bring us more suffering than happiness. And we're always labeling, projecting, and creating our own suffering.
yes,
Like our own suffering, our suffering is usually, if you really look back, in a more kind of genuine way, we are creating our own suffering, right?
yes.
And so, to illustrate that, there's a really nice example I hear from my colleague at a panel discussion in America. One of my Western friends, teachers, gave this example that there's a couple who are having some difficulty in their relationship, and so they went to beach and talk it over, and they have some discussion and beautiful sunset and everything, and then they went to restaurant and have dinner, and he ordered the soup, she ordered a salad, and then he started drinking soup with a fork, and then she thought, oh, what a jerk, this guy. Then that kind of confirmed her projection that he is a jerk and everything.
He's not the right person for
He's
you.
not the right person. He's kind of like stupid and so on.
Yes,
And then at the same time, another couple was having a great relationship, great time. They walked the same beach, same afternoon, wonderful. End up in the same restaurant and eating the same kind of food. And then again, the guy picked up the fork
yes,
and started drinking the soup with the fork. And then the woman thought, wow, he's so cute, so special,
yes,
So it's all our projection, right?
yes,
Our mind doing that.
yes, yes. Yesterday, Rinpoche spoke very interestingly about the 6 paramitas and how it can be practical and
Yes.
for householders.
Yes.
But I think given the duration of the talk, Rinpoche could not elaborate on that. So if Rinpoche could share something on how the 6 paramitas for the viewers, for who are majority of them are householders, lay people, how we can actually incorporate the 6 paramitas.
Yes, we call it Parotu Chimbatuk,
Yes.
right? The 6 paramitas. And I think these 6 paramitas are really excellent practice for everyone, monastics, lay people, and especially Buddha said many of the paramita practices are for lay practitioners, bodhisattvas.
Yes.
And so, like for example, the first paramita is generosity.
Yes.
Generosity is sharing. It's sharing everything. When we talk about generosity, usually we think about wealth,
Yes.
right? Wealth, prosperity. Yes, it is wealth, it is prosperity, but not just material wealth, not just material prosperity, but also mental wealth. Sharing our wisdom, sharing our love, sharing our heart for all sentient beings. It's starting with our the person who's next to you. Starting from there. Don't think too far away, like all sentient beings, because that becomes a little bit of, I think, mystery to me.
Yes.
When you think about all sentient beings, because all sentient beings is much easier to help than one sentient being, right? Because there's no such thing as all sentient beings.
Excuse me. Yes.
And so, like, generosity is sharing, and then sharing is very important in family.
Yes.
Sharing is very important in friendship and in community. So generosity, and then discipline. Discipline is basically
Because the reason I asked the 6 parameters, because as as a follower of Buddhism, whenever I looked at it, like the term itself, when you hear it, paril tu chimpa true, that also sounds intimidating. And then 6 paramitas, that Sanskrit word attached to it.
Yes.
Although right now Rinpoche is simplifying all of this in a wonderful way. So thus discipline also,
Yes.
like Rinpoche
It's
said.
paramita. It just means transcendental.
Yes.
So discipline is basically keeping our genuine sense of mindfulness.
Yes.
Right? Being mindful.
Yes.
If you're mindful, then you can achieve everything, right? If you're mindful, you can take care of your children very well. If you're mindful, you can also work very well at your profession.
Yes.
And so discipline is really important in even life.
Yes.
Without discipline, we have a lot of problem at home.
Yes.
Not only in the monasteries,
Yes.
but also at home. And so discipline is a very good practice, like the sense of commitment between a couple,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
commitment between couple, commitment between parent and children.
Yes.
This all discipline. This kind of commitment is a discipline.
Yes.
And then patience. Of course, third paramita, patience is the most important,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And sometimes we don't have much choice,
Yeah.
right? In family situation,
Yes.
you are naturally patient. Yeah.
Yes.
So like that, paramita practice, patience. Patience is the key. One time, I was talking to another Buddhist teacher, and said that some people think patience is like tolerance. Like if someone hits you on the right cheek,
Yes.
you should show them the left.
Yes.
Patience. And the master told me that that's a wrong. Okay, that's a wrong. Coming from the Mahayana tradition, it's a wrong approach. It's not patience. It's actually egocentricity, because you only care for your own karma. You don't care about that person's karma, who's slapping you.
Yes.
So he said, like if someone's trying to hit you, you should stop them.
Yes.
As a bodhisattva,
Yes.
So patience is not just like that.
Because that person will also accumulate negative karma by hitting.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you're perpetuating his karma.
Yes.
So patience also, we have to be careful.
Yes.
So patience doesn't mean we let the other people accumulate negative karma.
Yes.
But patience means being reasonable and being really like kind. Patience is kindness.
Yes. Yes. And then the
And
next.
then the meditation.
Yes.
So next is exertion
Yes.
or diligence.
Yes.
The next paramita is diligence, which Shanti Deva taught in the Jangchub,
Yes.
that Bodhicharya Avatara.
Yes.
Patience is taking delight. Not patience, sorry.
Chunji.
Chundru.
Yes.
Chundru, diligence, is actually taking delight in positive action.
Yes.
It's not really just working hard like machine.
Yes. Because in Bhutan, the word chundu means like our parents keep telling us when exams come.
Right.
Chundu kebe peshata means like concentrate
Pushing,
hard. Yes.
pushing.
Just push yourself and
Yeah.
exert yourself.
Not that, that's not, that's like hard-working Chundru.
Yes.
But the real Chundru from the paramita side is taking delight in something positive,
Yes.
taking delight in positive action, positive thought. That's a real Chundru, because then when you have that kind of delight, you'll naturally work hard,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You don't need to push, you'll naturally work hard.
Yes.
And then the fifth paramita is meditation. Meditation is basically being aware of everything,
Yes.
right? Being aware of our thoughts, our emotions, and then being aware of the environment. So that kind of awareness helps tremendously in our daily life as a family, family man and woman. And then the sixth paramita is wisdom. Then wisdom we don't need to talk about. How important it is,
Yes, yes. That's very much. Thank you so much for that. My next question, it's because I have a follow-up question with that. Is there a difference between a Buddhist and a non-Buddhist? And if there is, then what could that difference be in Rinpoche's opinion?
Buddhist and non-Buddhist?
I mean, there is a book which came out by Dzongchen Jamyang Khyentse which says, "What makes you not a Buddhist?"
Yes.
So I haven't actually, I have to admit, didn't have the find or make the time actually to read it. So if Rinpoche could share something on what that book expounds, or Rinpoche's opinion on the fact that...
Well, what is a Buddhist and what is not Buddhist? There are many ways to talk about it. Classical, traditional point, from the point of view of a traditional Buddhist approach.
Yes.
One who has taken refuge in the
Yes.
three jewels
Yes.
is regarded as Buddhist,
Yes.
and one who has not taken refuge in the three jewels
Yes.
is not Buddhist.
Yes.
That's a traditional approach.
Yes.
You know.
But here in Bhutan, because Rinpoche kind of touched on it yesterday while you were speaking in RIM, me being born in Bhutan, and I have friends and colleagues also who have interest in the Buddha Dharma, but they don't find the time, or they don't make the time, they don't read, but still they go to monasteries, offer butter lamps,
Right.
and so are they Buddhist or are they not a Buddhist?
Culturally Buddhist.
Culturally Buddhist.
Yes. And also, in many ways, like as an Asian person, as soon as we are born, after we are born, we are taken to the temples, and after maybe a few weeks, someone cuts the hair,
Yes.
cuts the hair and gives a name. That time, I think we get refuge
Yes.
many times.
Yes.
Many lamas give refuge. So, technically, we are Buddhist.
Yes.
But practically, it's a different story. It's a whole different story.
Rinpoche said that the traditional difference, if one should call it that, between Buddhist and non-Buddhist is taking refuge in the three jewels.
Yes.
If Rinpoche could share something like on the three jewels, what are the three jewels?
Three jewels are the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha,
Yes.
as we know. And they are really like outer or the relative form of the three jewels. Like there's the historic Buddha outside, like the Buddha Shakyamuni,
Yes.
and then the historic Dharma outside, the teachings of the Buddha, 84,000, and then the historic Sangha, so to speak. That's the great Bodhisattvas like Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara,
Yes.
and the great Arhats, and
Yes.
so on. But in ultimate or the inner refuge is Buddha is within us, the Dharma is within us, and the Sangha is within us. There's nothing outside really.
Yes. Yes. Is it all right for us Buddhists to question the Buddha Dharma?
Oh, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. That's what Buddha said from the very outset.
Yes.
He said, "You must question my teaching,
Yes.
and then follow it after you thoroughly analyze."
Yes. But is there a point where we can come to of this questioning? Because with my experience, I have found that, like Rinpoche was mentioning yesterday about now even Western science coming with, reaching quantum physics where even atoms don't, and the quark and all of that.
Yes.
There is almost no end to question. So is there a point where you should say that, okay, this is enough now? And
Well, I think until we achieve enlightenment, I think we can't even, I don't know, if we can help ourselves stop questioning. But until we reach enlightenment, I think we will have some question, but not maybe as much as we may have in the beginning.
To phrase it in a different way, with so much of my friends also from school who I think somewhere after when you join college or during that time, you tend to somehow, maybe karmically you're inclined, or I've met friends in India from other places also who tend to question their existence. But in a way, it just becomes like an obsession, the questioning itself, rather than seeking the answer. So is there a proper way of questioning, or of, like,
That's
to
right.
use a loose term, a cool way of
Questioning. I think if we really ask question out of curiosity, out of our curiosity, and genuine sense of enthusiasm. I really want to learn. Let's say, okay, for example, I want to learn what does Buddha mean.
Yes.
If you have really genuine enthusiasm, then that question will lead you to some kind of answer.
Yes.
But sometimes we ask questions not out of enthusiasm, but out of some kind of what do you call that? To show our smart, brain intelligence or something. To exhibit your kind of, there's too much ego involved there.
Yes.
That kind of questioning will then go in the wrong direction.
Yes. Thank you very much. Like the name of my show, Jangchub Shing. A question that I keep asking all my guests is Jangchub Sem.
Jangchub Shing, yes.
If Rinpoche could share something on that.
Bodhichitta. Bodhichitta is a rare and precious thought, right? At the beginning is a thought.
Yes.
Rare and precious thought. It's a thought about how we want to help others, how we want to bring some happiness, temporary and ultimate freedom to all these other sentient beings, So it's a positive thought, a very rare and precious thought in the beginning. And then later, of course, there's ultimate bodhicitta and so on. Yes. But this Jangchub Sem, as I was telling earlier, a lot of times, we leave it as a prayer. Yes. We want to help all mother sentient beings as vast as space and stuff like that. Yes. And those things, I think, are very good prayer, very good aspiration, but not very helpful if we don't put that in action.
Yes.
So bringing the bodhicitta, Jangchub Sem, in action is the most important part. Yes. And then the action begins with the one-on-one. Yes. The Jangchub Sem, to help sentient beings, begins with the one. Yes. One sentient being at a time.
Yes. Rinpoche, I'd like to ask further, as in with my limited reading of Buddhism, I believe like Rinpoche did speak upon it but didn't label it. First there is a thought, then there is the action, like Menjuk Jangchub Gesem and
yes.
Jukpa Jangchub Gesem. So what is the difference? If you could, Rinpoche could make it like a simple version of this quite complex term for our viewers.
Yes, Jangchub Gesem has, we talk about two
yes.
categories. One is Mumpa,
yes.
aspiration bodhicitta, and the other one is Jukpa, Jangchub Gesem, yes. Application bodhicitta. Yes. So aspiration bodhicitta is like a thought of wanting to go to some place. Yes. And application bodhicitta is taking the action to go there.
Taking the steps to reach that.
Taking the step to reach there, like yes. getting tickets, yes. getting on the flight.
Yes. Yeah. Jangchub Sem, is it something that I can just feel right now? Say I feel that, okay, I want to help all sentient beings. And then, like Rinpoche said, I go about one-on-one. Like there's a dog outside who's hungry, I feed that dog. Then I meet another person. I constantly practice all these positive things. But is there like a formal way of, because I believe there is Jangchub Sembi, Domba and Vows, and if you Rinpoche could share something about that, is yes. that really necessary, or I mean, what is the process, that procedure of Jangchub Sembi Domba?
Jangchub Sembi Domba. The procedure is that first you study. Yes. It's important to study about Jangchub Sem, yes. bodhicitta, and then study about what are the precepts, what is involved in this.
Yes, yes.
And once we are ready to kind of embark on that path,
yes.
and then we must go to master
yes.
and take the bodhisattva vow.
Yes.
And when we take the bodhisattva vow, we take, there's two ways. One is great Nagarjuna's tradition, yes. and the other one is the Asanga's tradition. Yes. So there's two ways of taking vows. The teacher will decide for you in
yes.
a way.
So a teacher is required to take
Teacher is required at the beginning.
Yes.
And once you've taken once, then you can take it yourself
yes.
every day.
Yes. It's something that you have to keep...
you can keep renewing.
Less.
Whenever you feel like, I've done maybe not so good somewhere,
Less.
you can renew it again.
Another interesting topic that Buddhism has, which has always, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has a very interesting way of explaining it also. Interdependence, Tenje.
Mm-hmm.
If Rinpoche could share something on that.
Interdependence.
In this day and age, interdependence, and I'm sure there is a scriptural description of that, which, according like Rinpoche pointed out yesterday, the Western science is catching up with now.
Yes, interconnectedness. Interconnectedness, interdependence is a very important topic in Buddhism.
Yes.
Like starting with the thought and idea of karma, all the way to the thoughts and ideas about emptiness, is based on the understanding of interdependence.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So interdependence becomes quite.
It looks complex, so if Rinpoche could, for our viewers, sitting at home and
it's quite simple in some ways. Like, let's say we go to market and grab an apple, right? Buy an apple.
Yes.
And we think, okay, I got this apple all by myself.
Yes.
Very independent.
I paid for it.
Yes.
With my money.
I work for it.
Yes.
I live in the city, and I work. I buy this from the market.
Yes.
It looks very independent. But actually, when you think about it, there's so many steps that led for us to have that apple in our hand. Right? There's so many steps from the farmers, who grow this apple, all the way to the transportation and to the market, and from your side also, your job, your daily work, earning, salaries, and so on. All these are coming together. So it's hundreds of people involved, right, in this network. So it's not independent, but it's actually dependent, right, interdependent.
So it's if I'm not getting it wrong, Rinpoche is saying, for example, the clothes that I wear also, it's like I feel that, okay, this is my co.
You got it.
But then it's so many people, starting from the cotton to the whole process.
Yes.
And this is exactly in line with what Rinpoche was speaking in the beginning, that we don't question the fact that this table,
Exists.
we take it for granted.
Yes.
I lost Rinpoche. Another term which I in my reading I found very I think helpful for our viewers and for us lay people, contentment.
Contentment, yes.
And chokshe.
Chokshe, yes.
And I don't know whether the English definition is really encapsulates what it means. So for our viewers, if Rinpoche could share something about contentment, the Buddhist philosophy of contentment. Contentment,
yes. Well, I think what Buddha taught is that if we, one of our main suffering as a human being, Buddha said, all 6 realms have different sufferings. But one of the main suffering for the human realm is what we call poverty mentality.
Yes.
Poverty mentality or lack of contentment. Right? We always feel poor, no matter how much we have.
Yes.
If you're a poor person, of course we will feel poor. But even if you're a billionaire, you still feel poor. There's still something to compare to, right?
Yes.
So there's never contentment. And so that kind of poverty mentality is the real source of our suffering. And when we have appreciation and contentment, then that's the greatest wealth of all. And so, poverty mentality is very creepy and difficult.
Yes. So Rinpoche is saying to kind of put a limit to how much your wants and needs.
Not really we need to put a limit.
Less.
Necessarily, but we just appreciate what we have.
Less.
And move on.
Yes. Is there any helpful tips that the Buddha had to feel that?
Contentment?
That, yes.
I think what tips Buddha gave, I'm not sure, all these teachings. But what I think of as helpful in some ways is
Yes.
To actually look at ourselves and see what do we really need.
Yes.
And this is a question. It's not about what we want,
Yes.
what we really need,
Yes.
right? What makes us happy,
Yes.
right? What kind of wealth, prosperity makes us happy,
Yes.
and what really we need,
To really ask ourselves.
Yeah,
Yes.
rather than asking
Mindlessly.
the wealth,
Yes.
rather than consulting the wealth, I think we should consult ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. The 6 realms Rinpoche was speaking about right now.
Oh no. Okay.
Bless. We're running short of time also, so I'll wrap up also. The 6 realms, although the animal realm and the human realm are things that we can see with our eyes, the rest of the realms are. And I asked this question because one of the guests on Jangchub Shing was Professor Robert Thurman, and I'd read some of his works, and there he goes on to explain almost like this the 6 realms exist on earth itself. So if Rinpoche could share something about that, because sometimes I look around and I tend to feel also that, okay, like right now we spoke about contentment, and like Rinpoche mentioned, there's billionaire and he's not satisfied, he wants more. Or there is a miserly person who has so much food in his storeroom, but he can't bring himself to eat good food, and it looks almost like a preta, like a hungry
Right.
ghost. And then somebody who's always angry, there are people who have that temperament, so it's almost like he's there in the hell realm, because you look at him and you tend to realize that, oh, he can't be happy, his face is red, he's like fuming. So do these realms really exist, or is it like a idea or a philosophy that the Buddha shared? For that time and in this day and age, if Rinpoche could, it might be personal or private thought, but if Rinpoche could share something about this 6 realms and how we should understand it in this day and age.
Well, I think from the Mahayana teachings point of view, all these 6 realms are actually happening in our mind,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's a mental state
Yes.
rather than a physical situation. And so the Mahayana teachings say that it's very clear in Bodhichitta Avatara, like for example Hell realm, who creates this whole mechanism there,
Yes.
the lavas and the boiling, all this, it's not possible. So Shantideva was saying that everything is created by your mind, right? Your mind of negative thoughts, negative seeds. And so therefore, from Mahayana point of view, I think the 6 realms are really like existing in our mind, mental state. It's a different state of our mind. Of course, it can manifest in a physical form,
Yes.
right? Like when you're really, really confused,
Yes.
we have hallucinations,
Yes.
right? They manifest in physical form.
Yes. Yes.
Like if you have seen some of the movies,
Yes.
like hallucinations. What was that movie? I forgot the name. It was really amazing.
A beautiful mind.
A Beautiful Mind. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Yes, right. I was so confused until the end. I wasn't sure what's going on.
Yes.
So that gave me a really good experience there. It's so real, it appears physical, and you can touch, you can feel, you have memories. And so like that, because of our negative karma, we can create that kind of hallucination, physical form of a hell realm, or whatnot, And so I think that's the Mahayana teachings point of view. And that's why I play with this term, with the word. I say, instead of saying hell realm, I say hell of a realm. Instead of saying heaven, the realm, I say heavenly realm.
Yes. the Buddha nature,
Yes.
if Rinpoche could share something on that, for viewers who have watched Jangchub Shing and other episodes of Sogyal Rinpoche keeps speaking about the Buddha nature. So if Rinpoche could share your understanding with us.
Yes, the Buddha nature, Buddha taught in the third turning of the Wheel of Dharma. Buddha taught these teachings on what we call Tathagata Garbha
Yes.
in Sanskrit,
Yes.
or Buddha nature in simple term.
Yes.
So it's nothing so complicated. It's the nature of our mind, right?
Yes.
Nature of mind, nature of our present mind.
Yes.
If we can look deeper,
Yes.
if we can connect deeper with our mind's nature
Yes.
through the blessings of the Buddha
Yes.
and Bodhisattvas, then we can see our own nature mind as a Buddha right from the outset. There's nothing missing.
So this Buddha nature, is it something that only humans have, or
All sentient beings.
yes?
All sentient beings possess Buddha nature according to Mahayana tradition.
And is there any difference, because an insect is very small? Does it have like a small Buddha nature?
No, it's the same Buddha nature. There's no difference.
Yes.
But I think the potential is the same. The basic potential is the same, but conditioning is different.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We as a human being, maybe we have a better conditioning than some insects.
Yes.
But still it's difficult to tell.
Yes.
Sometimes maybe they are better.
You never know.
We don't know really. But according to Buddhist teachings, of course, human birth, is the most precious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you share something on that? How is the human realm better than the rest of the realms?
One simple thing,
Yes.
simplest thing, is that human realm has enough balance. Enough balance in the sense that not too intense with suffering, and also not too distracted with too much happiness, like God realm. Right?
Yes.
The God realm has so much distraction, so we don't have any kind of interest in deeper enlightenment, so to speak.
Yes.
Right? Like some of the beach communities,
Yes.
they're always distracted.
Yes.
And also human realm is not like a hell of a realm, where there's so intense suffering that you have no opportunity to think or have the chance to study deeper.
Yes. Yes. Whenever we go live, today this is a recorded program, and we take callers. Most callers, from all over Bhutan, they keep echoing one question, which is there a shortcut to Nirvana?
Shortcut to Nirvana.
And if there is, what could that shortcut be?
Shortcut to Nirvana. Maybe we can ask Kurt Cobain. No?
So Rinpoche is saying there's no shortcut to Nirvana.
Well, shortcut to Nirvana. According to Vajrayana
Yes.
tradition, we think we are the shortcut to Nirvana, isn't it?
Yes.
Like we can achieve enlightenment in one lifetime,
Yes.
or 7 lifetimes, or something like that.
Yes.
Whereas in the Sutrayana tradition,
Yes.
Hinayana, Mahayana, then it's 3 countless aeons and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
So, according to Vajrayana tradition, I think the Vajrayana practice of Yidam,
Yes.
Yidam deity meditation, Mahamudra,
Yes.
and especially Dzogchen,
Yes.
we believe that's the shortcut, right?
Yes. 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 I have just 2 more questions.
Yes.
My second question being the topic which was for Rinpoche's talk yesterday, the relevance of Buddhism in the 21st century.
Okay.
Rinpoche could share something on that. How relevant does Rinpoche feel? Because Rinpoche's travel, is in America, is in the West most of the time. So how relevant is Buddhism in this century?
I feel Buddhism is very relevant to the 21st century. Basically, Buddha's teaching is actually evergreen. it's the genuine wisdom element of the Buddha's teaching is not bound by any time. Or the essence is not bound by any time or any culture or any language. So that's why I say the Buddha's teaching is like a water. Okay?
Yes.
The Buddha's teaching is like a genuine water. The water has no shape, no color. Okay? Depending on what container you pour the water in, the water adopts that shape and that color. So then you can say, okay, this is, Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, like that.
Yes.
But the basic Buddha's teaching is evergreen.
Yes.
I think it's so relevant to 21st century because it's Buddha Dharma. Buddha's teaching is nothing but the science of mind,
Yes.
basically. It's a science of mind. It's a true philosophy of a way of life. And it's a path of compassion, love, and kindness that helps everyone to become a better person, a better sentient being.
Yes. For our viewers, if Rinpoche could share a simple daily practice that they can do.
Simple daily practice?
Yes.
I think meditation.
Yes.
I'm really a fan of meditation,
Yes.
even though I don't meditate
Yes.
that much.
Yes.
But I'm a fan of meditation. And so if we can sit every day, even for 5 minutes,
Yes.
it will be extremely helpful.
Yes.
Just sit for 5 minutes with a simple technique of breathing meditation.
Yes.
And breathe naturally. Follow the breath when you breathe out. Your mind should stay with the breath. Don't lose the focus. Place your mind on the breath. One-pointedly follow the breath. And then when you breathe in, you relax. Right? You relax naturally. Just do that exercise, simple.
Yes. Is there a posture that one should adopt?
Yes, a sitting posture, like how the Buddha's sitting, like
Yes.
Buddha statues usually.
Yes. Yes.
You can put your hand like this, or you can rest your hands on the knee.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. But sit up straight. Your back should be straight.
Yes. Rinpoche, a final message to our viewers from Rinpoche's side. This program is actually, of course, it's for the general public, but it's specifically aimed for our youth because we are known as the last independent Buddhist country in the world. But the idea of this program is so that we know what Buddhism is. So if Rinpoche would be so kind, and Rinpoche has been so kind for a message that Rinpoche would like to send across to the youth of Bhutan.
I'm not sure what to say exactly, but I would say that what you have here as a heritage of both spiritual and cultural heritage of this Buddhist teaching or inspired by Buddhist teachings, it's really something very precious, something that no other countries, all have. And so I think this is something that you must treasure and see the value of this. As you can see, throughout the world, people are so interested in connecting with such principles, and they don't have opportunity. And whereas here, you have plenty of opportunities, and so much opportunity here. So I think it's really very important for the youth to uphold this tradition.
Thank you for watching, and although now Jangchub Shing has extended its time from half an hour to 1 hour, given the vastness and profoundness of the Buddha Dharma, it still feels very short. In closing, BBS Channel 2 would like to offer our heartfelt gratitude to Rinpoche for making time for us.
Thank you so much.
And sharing your thoughts and understanding with us, and we hope and pray to be able to host Rinpoche again in the future.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here in Bhutan.
Yes.
And here at the studio and Jangchub Shing
Yes.
program.
Yes.
And I'm so happy to have met you and meet everyone here.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Bless. Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you to the viewers. Again, we would like to inform our viewers that should you miss any of our programs, now that we are 24/7, you can catch these programs the following day. For our program schedule, log on to our website www.bbs.bt/bbs2/. From the production team here at Chubachu and everybody here at the studio and control room, we've worked out a slogan: analyze and realize. Good night and take care.